Welcome to A&B Horror Movies. I'm Aaron, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be joined today by Jess Varley. Jess, welcome.
Hi, Erin. Thank you for having me. This is so nice.
Yes, absolutely. It's so nice to talk with you in person, and I have you on today to talk about your brand new horror sci-fi thriller called The Astronaut.
Something punctured your capsule and shattered your helmet.
What do you think it was?
Could have been meteor debris. You're lucky you survived.
Sounds like a close call. We're all very glad that you're okay.
Me too.
The department has secured a beautiful house for your recovery, out of the spotlight.
Welcome. Careful pushing yourself too hard. Expect everything from nausea to dizziness, fever, hallucinations.
I'll see you soon.
I'll see you soon.
Try and get some rest.
Next house is miles away.
Sounds like a horror movie. There was something here last night. What if something followed me back?
We'll find out what the what is, okay? You got this.
Breach detected. Lockdown initiated.
I have this crazy bruising spreading all over my body. I'm seeing things that aren't actually there.
The human body takes time to remember how to function on Earth.
You're part of something really big here, Sam.
What's going on?
What's happening to Mommy?
I've
Thank
watched it this week. It's fantastic. Congratulations.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, and what an amazing film to start with for your directorial debut, first feature-length film. Phenomenal cast, phenomenal story. I love the twist, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let's jump right into it. My very first question for you is, what was the inspiration for The Astronaut? What gave you the idea to write this sci-fi horror thriller?
Mm. Well, the original idea came out of an article about all of the real symptoms that astronauts have when they come back from space. And so many of them I had never heard of. I was not aware that astronauts were dealing with this.
Oh my
And I just
gosh.
Yeah, and I just really loved I really loved the idea that basically that someone wouldn't be able to trust what they were seeing, feeling, experiencing to kind of create the baseline for this sort of paranoia and this
Hmm.
questioning of reality. But I just didn't know what to do with it for the longest time, and then finally cracked the twist and ultimately backtracked it, worked with Brad Fuller, our amazing producer on the film, and he just like immediately took to the idea, and he really just helped me just really develop it over time and turn it into what it ultimately became.
I love that, and it's fascinating to hear that that's like a real life experience that they have to go through quarantine, and perhaps that they're not truthful about what they might be hallucinating. That is perfect material for a
So
horror sci-fi movie. So that's just awesome. My next question for you is about I guess I would say your films are very psychological and emotionally driven. So it's not like you jump right into the horror elements. You take your time, you spend time developing the characters, and then when the horrific elements, let's say, do come into play, they're much more meaningful. Is that always your approach to making films? And what would you say is so appealing about that approach to making films?
I mean, I really feel like obviously it's so important to care about the characters so that should something bad happen to them, you actually give a fuck.
Hmm, hmm.
And it
Yes.
does. So I think, being awarded, obviously in something like Phobias, it was so quick. You get such a short amount of time to introduce the character. Hey.
Yeah, I got a copy of it right here.
Yeah,
Yes.
Macy Gray back for round
Oh
two.
my
It's
God, she's
so nice.
stunning. Yes, I'd love to see her pop up
Yeah,
again in The
yeah.
Astronaut. Anyway, I
No.
interrupted.
No, 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 no. It was amazing to get to do it again with her. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, just having more time was really nice to be able to really create this foundation so that hopefully then the payoff at the ending really feels deeper than like just, kind of like a slasher where, everyone's kind of an archetype, which is also super fun.
Yeah.
But I wanted to kind of create something a
Mhm.
little bit different here where you did really kind of feel that sentimentality of hopefully something like Close Encounters or something like that, where there's this real
Yeah.
human struggle throughout the film.
Hmm, hmm. And I think you've achieved the perfect tone with this. The ending, the twist at the end, I didn't see it coming. And I think it just works so well. I've been thinking about it for days. So that is a success, I would say, a win right there. Um, I do want to talk about the casting because you have some legends here. Kate Mara, Laurence Fishburne, Gabe Luna. What was the casting process like, and what was it like working with these legends? Oh my gosh, I can only imagine walking into that first meeting room and trying to keep your
Like,
composure, like, hey,
yeah,
what's up?
yeah, you're like, okay, cool. So I guess I'm directing Lawrence Fishburne today. Like, should I just stay out of his way?
Good,
Like,
no big deal.
no, everyone was so amazing, and I'm still
Yeah.
super close with all of them, which is so
Mhm.
nice. And I'm just so grateful that everyone took a chance on me as a first-time director and was willing to go on the ride with me, and just give it so much. But it was, I think the thing about casting is it's so fun. Honestly, I love it, because every
Mhm.
time you go to a new actor, you just completely imagine the role in a different way because everyone
Yes.
brings their individuality to it. So it's a
Mhm.
totally different movie depending on who you cast, which is so fun. And I love that about it.
Yeah.
Um, and I think the fun thing about casting too is, I mean, look, it obviously doesn't always work out perfectly, but I think, there's sort of a bit of a magic to that too, where it's like, sometimes you get passes from actors and you're really disappointed, but then the actor of your dreams says yes, and you just don't really know how it's going to play out until time passes. So I'm just so grateful that everything kind of fell into place, and I felt like everyone that I got was so perfect. It's actually, ironically, because of the way the process went, I ended up casting Gabe Luna before I cast Kate because I just love Gabe
Oh.
so much. But it was just ended up being so perfect that they were together because I feel like they make such a realistic couple. I just buy them
Mhm.
so much. And that was just kind of a gut feeling on Gabe. I was like, no matter who I cast as the lead of this movie, like he's gotta be the husband.
It's
I
yes.
just
Oh,
feel
it's so
like
good.
yeah, and,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Lawrence was, an archetype that we had discussed as like a dream, would be
Mhm.
cool to dream of somebody like this, never thinking in my wildest dreams that he would actually say yes to the movie and just give it so much and just be so wonderful through the process. And obviously Kate is stunning and brings so much sophistication to the role and really just
Mhm.
goes for it in terms of the unraveling of the character, does not hold back and just gives so much grace and humanity to this character who's struggling through
Yes.
this messy experience. And she just does it better than I
Absolutely.
could ever dreamed.
And I love that each of the actors you mentioned, they each bring something different to the table. They each approach their roles differently. And what's really interesting about your film is that each of the characters, while they're trying to connect, they all sort of exist in their own worlds at the same time. And there's sort of an isolation and kind of a claustrophobic feel, which brings me to my next question. So there is that element of it, that sort of isolation, the claustrophobia, which is interesting because Kate's character Sam is in this giant house. She's in the wilderness, which would normally be a very beautiful setting. Yet you've created this world that feels um, constrictive, frightening, and claustrophobic. What was it like creating that atmospheric element that we have in The Astronaut? Because so well done. Um,
Oh, thank you.
yes,
Yeah, definitely try, Ex Machina was definitely a big, obviously The Shining too. The
of
Shining
course. Yeah,
meets Ex Machina was kind of the vibe we were going for.
I love
Um,
it.
in terms of just that and also I mean there's a little bit of even though it's not the same kind of isolation, there's something about Hereditary, just the kind of
Mm,
starkness of the image of like this house and these woods, and just something about that is sort of so like beautiful but unsettling. um
yes.
and honestly, we just really lucked out with the location. The fact that we found this stunning house that genuinely could actually look out the windows and see beautiful autumn
Mhm.
forest was incredibly lucky. And we
Yes.
did, obviously we completely, we painted the house, we dressed the whole thing, we brought in all the art and just everything. And
Oh, cool.
it was so fun to be able to do that because I had kind of a lookbook sort of inspo board
Mm.
for the vibe that I wanted to create in the house, and we really got pretty close to it with what we did, which was really nice. It was really cool to kind of get to see it come to
Yeah.
life. And but honestly, no matter how beautiful a house is, I'm a Brooklyn girl. I grew up in the tiniest little apartment, so I'm like the idea, even in the nicest home,
Of
if
that
I am
much
there
space.
alone, immediately no, I can't. Sorry, my dog.
Yes. Yeah. Oh
Um,
no, that's okay. Yeah. I mean, a giant place like that by yourself would be terrifying. And you captured that so well in your film. Um, Beautiful place, beautiful house. But my gosh, is it scary at times, especially at night. Um, how did you scout? What was the scouting like? How did you choose this house? I understand it was filmed in Ireland, which beautiful country.
Yeah, it
Can you
was
speak to that
amazing.
a little bit? Yeah.
Yes, I love Ireland so much, and we had the most incredible crew. I literally miss everybody every single day. I cannot wait to hopefully get to shoot another movie there.
Mm.
I was so lucky to get to work with everyone. They were incredible. And I mean, he's gonna kill me, but one of the producers at Wild Atlantic, which was our like amazing local production company there, totally like sent me that house early on in a Dropbox, but it looked
Oh,
different, in photos, and it was white, and it, was kind of a little bit cluttered, and, just looked like
yeah,
a
yeah.
normal, beautiful house, but not the vibe that we needed. And I was like, no, I keep looking, keep looking. After I look at like 100 more places, and we scout all of Wicklow Forest, and okay, well, we like this house, but it's not in the woods, so we're gonna have to marry locations. We did all of this, and then I finally go visit this house, and I was like, oh, this is perfect.
Mm, mm.
So and the homeowners were so sweet and so gracious, and they let us paint and do everything
Oh,
we did to it. So yeah, and it was really lucky because they had never hosted a film shoot there before, which is so great because sometimes you watch something and you're like, oh, I've seen this house in 10 other movies. So
yes.
that was also really nice that because the house is the location is such a character in the movie.
Mm, absolutely.
So making it feel really unique and really kind of signature in its own way was kind of lucky that it sort of worked out that they had never shot there before. But also just a testament to Alan Gilmore, our incredible production designer,
Yeah.
ability to transform the space and really make it into what the dream was.
Did you have to revert it back? Did you have to paint the walls back to white or whatever
Oh,
they
thank
were? Are they now
God.
living in a black
Oh my God, thank
home?
God, because we were so tight with our budget. So there was a clause where it was like if the homeowners didn't like it, we had to change it back.
Go, go back. Yes.
So we were like, God, but we purposely did everything with like really high quality paint too. So it would be weatherproofed and like so that should
Mm.
they hopefully like it and want to keep it, it would be like the best quality possible. And thankfully they loved it. I think they kept as many dressings as they possibly could that we left.
Oh,
So
that's
they were
amazing.
happy because they got their little architectural digest makeover of the house. So
Yeah.
because it would,
Yeah.
because it even, on an indie budget, it's like, oh God, putting the house back to painting it white, it's expensive,
Mhm,
for what
mhm.
we had. So thank God they
Especially
kept
a
it.
house that big. Yeah. And now they have their home in a film that most people
Yeah,
can't say that.
totally.
Um, yeah, that's so awesome. Excuse me. So I want to talk a little bit about the creature effects
Yeah.
because they are amazing.
Thank
Um,
you.
can you say a little bit about what that process was like? What was the evolution and how many iterations did you go through before landing on? the final creatures that we have in The Astronaut. And I also want to talk about the body horror elements, but let's do the creature
Yeah. Okay,
effects
okay.
first.
Okay, love it. Um, yeah, so the aliens, it was such an interesting part of the process because I had never really done like a proper VFX character before.
Hmm.
Um, so it's really kind of just a learning experience for me. We explored every avenue. We went down a whole road with the Jim Henson Company to potentially do
Oh.
puppeted aliens initially, but that was going to
Mm.
be so expensive. God bless them. They are the sweetest. I'm still like friends with everyone there. But we were just so cost prohibited because we were a small indie film. So, but it was so fun kind of going through that process and being like, wow, like what if we did build them or what if we took
Mhm.
inspiration from that or all these things and we ended up there's a mock-up I found of concepts for 10 Cloverfield Lane that I just love so much and they always kind of really
Yeah.
stuck with me. I was like, oh, how interesting. Like the original concept was a little bit more translucent, so you could like really see their organs and things and like the colorful
Mm.
kind of inner workings of their body. But obviously, when as a budget, once you get down to the realities of what's
Yes.
possible, certain things you have to pare back on just because you
Right.
have to.
Hmm.
But we had an amazing artist at ILM who actually did these gorgeous mock-ups for us. So it gave us a really great, even though we couldn't afford to have ILM actually do all the VFX, which would have been amazing. They so graciously
Hmm.
gave us this design to really build off of, with the budget that we had. And King's Ransom did end up doing our VFX for the aliens. And we just really like, I mean, it's probably apparent, maybe in a way that some people like and some people don't like, but we did draw inspiration from, a little bit of Pixar and this idea of like
Yeah.
how you communicate emotion through eyes. I loved the
Hmm.
idea that like they kind of had these, it's a little uncanny valley, but I kind of really wanted them to have these human eyes because I feel like it gives you
Yeah.
something to kind of latch onto emotionally. But
Hmm.
the main thing that I drew from with the inspiration for the aliens more than anything were real bioluminescent sea creatures. This was something I was
Yeah.
always really drawn to, even from the Jim
Hmm.
Henson stage. I just thought,
And the abyss vibes in the
yeah,
film.
totally, totally.
Yeah.
And a little bit of like even Pacific Rim, like that
Hmm.
sort of glowy. I was like, oh, it's so interesting. Like, what if these, as we see more of them, like, what if they have this kind of like neon or bioluminescent element to them that's like
Hmm.
colorful and sort of unexpected
Yeah.
after lurking in the shadows most of the movie. Um, so, so yeah, but yeah, the bioluminescent sea creatures, because again, I really wanted to root everything, even the score. Like we try to
Mm.
use, obviously my friend Jacques, who's an amazing composer, did all of the music himself, but we tried to
Mm.
use instrumentation, like not use synthesizer. We tried to really use, instruments that
Okay.
exist on Earth, and things like that, just to kind of help sort of ground it. Even the spaceship at the end, sort of reminiscent of a jellyfish. Just wanting to kind of so that we could be tethered, so that it didn't feel so super sci-fi that then it becomes kind of unrelatable.
Yeah, no, I like it. And it's almost like a dreamlike quality as well. And it's interesting that you're mentioning movies basically underwater, like ocean movies, because you've kind of created that element, but above ground, not in the ocean. And you kind of have that you walk away with that kind of dreamlike underwater feeling, and I think that's really special. Like I said, I do want to talk a little bit about the body horror, and I won't give
Yes,
the twist
please.
away, but there are some body horror elements in this that are just amazing, the way they sort of unfold and
Sorry,
just get worse over time. Oh no.
one second. My dog's getting the zoomies. Just give me one one
Oh,
second.
okay, okay, no problem.
Good girl, sit. Good girl,
How
stay.
old is she?
She's a 4-year-old English bulldog, so she's like 100% personality.
Oh my
Sorry.
gosh. No, that's awesome. Where
Um,
was I?
okay, I'm
Uh,
so sorry. Do you mind
No,
repeating that?
that's great. Yes, of course, the body horror elements, the way they sort of start on gradually and then really unfold into, um, I don't want to give anything away what happens in the end. What was it like making the body horror elements and then ultimately morphing them into what happens in the final act? I'm being very careful here not to give anything
Yeah,
away. So,
no, that's all good.
okay, okay.
Yeah, no, it was a really fun challenge because, I wanted her. body transformation initially to seem like just the real side effects of a crash landing, basically, and coming back from
Hmm.
space and all of these things, and really try to keep it super grounded. And then
Yes.
have it slowly evolve into the transformation. And we had such a great Tom McInerney was our prosthetics artist,
Hmm.
and he and his partner Kate did such an amazing job of kind of keeping that transformation grounded, but also like keeping track of what would turn into what. It's like the bruising on the hand then becomes what happens to the hand later, and like the cramp in the foot turns into the toenail, turns
Yes.
into, So it's kind of like
Oh
how,
gosh.
yeah. So hopefully, too, there's a bit of a I mean, hopefully there's like a decent amount of rewatchability to the film because I think once
Hmm.
you know the twist, you could totally go back and rewatch and be like, oh my God, that's going to become that. And I didn't realize that that was going to mean that later and all
Yes. Yes.
that. But yeah, I mean, they did an amazing job. They actually did this really cool thing too. Kate basically, I mean, she invented it as far as I'm concerned, but she did this really interesting thing where she made like temporary tattoos of bruises so that then they could be
Oh.
exactly replicated later for continuity. So it was
Hmm.
so helpful because as opposed to like trying to recreate it by, because if you had a tattoo and you were doing a TV show, you just have that tattoo and you would replace it, every time you were shooting.
Yeah,
With each
sure.
bruise and she had different patterns and options for the bruises so then we could build them slowly, but they were
Mm.
always consistent. And then that way there wasn't, it just really helped with the continuity. And then we were
Yeah.
trying to figure out how to, do the transformation with the prosthetics and the glow and all of that stuff. And we considered everything from, lights under the costume, and we tried everything. And then ultimately went with basically like a glow stick paint. That
Okay.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
so interesting that like you had to keep warm, but it was like this whole crazy thing, but it's so fun. And I
Yeah.
cleaned it up a little bit in post, but like it's pretty much all in camera, like which
Mm.
was really cool to be able to do. And that was just it was a lot of trial and error and a lot of just creative problem solving because again, super limited budget, kind of
Hmm.
weird ideas. So just really grateful that, the team was willing to experiment and try things until we figured out something that could work.
Yes, yeah, and well, like I said, I like how it sort of unfolds and it's gradual. Like there's one scene where the bruise, like she pulls the bandage back, and there's like a line. I think it's something like that doesn't look so good, or this bruise isn't normal, and you're the audience is like, oh
Totally.
my God, you're right, that's not normal. Um,
Right.
I also loved your use of colors, like the neon blues and
Thank
the
you.
greens. I thought that worked really nicely. I have sort of a fun question for you, and that is well, I don't know if it's fun, but we'll see. What scares you the most in real life, and how do you channel that into your
Ooh.
films?
I mean,
Put you on
it's
the spot a little
that's a
bit.
good question. It's so funny because like I do like being on my own, but
Mm.
I'm also very social. But at the same time, like right now, my fiance is out of town, and I'm like, oh my God, I lock every door, every
Oh yeah,
moment.
me too. Hmm. Hmm.
I think the paranoia of being like actually alone is, especially as a woman, is just like something that you live with. So it's kind of heightened when he's out of town, and I'm like,
Yeah, for
I gotta
sure.
protect myself, God forbid. So I think definitely that is a real thing of mine. Probably more than anything. But like, I don't
I think
know.
that's a universal fear. So, and you've
Yeah.
tapped into that, and even a little bit in phobias. And what is it, a telephobia with
Yeah.
Macy Gray? She's alone, isolated, and has a fear of what is it, not being perfect, imperfection fear, and takes it
Yeah.
to the extremes. But
Totally.
I do want to ask you about that. I don't want to get ahead just
Oh,
yet.
please.
Um, let's see. What can you, or how can people watch your film, The Astronaut?
Okay, great. So it's currently in very limited select theaters, but you can
Awesome.
watch it on Apple TV. It's on Prime Video and it's on Fandango at home too. So you can totally watch it right now if you want to.
Yes, you can, and that's how I rented it on Amazon. So that's how I
Oh,
I
thank
got to
you.
see it. Let's see. I also like to ask, also kind of fun maybe, if you could describe the astronaut using other films, what would you say? Like Alien meets Predator, but obviously not those two films. Although
Mhm.
maybe some elements, but
Hmm.
maybe not.
Remember what the old short was. Like, I feel like it was like, I wonder what it was. I feel like it was like Arrival meets The Shining or something like that.
Mm,
Or I don't remember what it was originally, but I would definitely say, it certainly has colors of E.T. and Close
yeah.
Encounters and Arrival and Ex Machina with that
Mhm.
location and The Shining, and Alien for sure. I really feel like
Yes.
totally channels Sigourney Weaver at moments with the red hair too. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
Also, fun fact, I think this is okay to share. One of Kate's daughter's name is Ridley, which I like, or
Uh,
is
uh,
wait,
Ripley,
no,
right?
is Ripley. Uh,
Ripley, right, from
yeah,
Alien. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Sorry, I was like, it's
The
not Ridley.
best cat mom
Yeah,
ever, right? Never
yeah,
gets
totally,
old.
totally, so badass. Yeah,
Oh,
so.
that's so
um,
cool.
yeah, and also, even though it's not sci-fi, I absolutely I love. I mean, I love Denis Villeneuve, obviously Arrival, but I really love
Mm,
Sicario as well.
mm.
Also a big influence just for the texture of Kate's character in this, just like the grittiness and rawness that Emily Blunt's character has in that movie. I love so much.
Yes,
So beautifully shot, obviously by Roger Deakins.
yes. It's so
So,
good.
yeah, those are definitely the main influences.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. So, like I said, I do have a couple questions for you about phobias. I love this anthology. Congratulations
Thanks.
on working on this. You also wrote and directed the framing segment, which
I
I think is
did.
Outpost 37.
Yes.
And then the one with Macy Gray, it's such a heart, a telephobia. Um, can you speak to a little bit of what it was like working on this project and working on the short films? And
Yeah,
perhaps what's the difference between a short film and a feature-length film now that you've
totally.
done both?
Well, it was an amazing experience. I learned so much. I've been working in the industry for a long time, but I did not go to film school. So
Mhm.
between all of my years working on crew and, some in front of the camera, but really doing phobias was kind of like film school for me because a lot of my friends on that movie, the other directors had already
Yeah.
done their first feature, some of them more than that. So I got to learn
Hmm.
from them, which was so helpful and just so interesting to like really learn how to put together a feature length film, but like you're not doing every single segment
Mhm.
or every
Right.
part of it. So it was an amazing experience, and we got to do it with the Radio Silence team, who like at the time were like, "Oh, hey, you want to come screen this cool movie we just did called Ready or Not?" I'm like,
Oh,
"Yeah, that'd be cool."
yeah, why not? I've got
Yeah,
nothing
so
else
that was
going on.
pretty
I'd
wild. So
love to.
now they've
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Oh,
they've
that's
done
so cool.
yeah, they've done like
Yeah.
two Scream movies. They just did another Ready or Not. They did Abigail. Like they are so
All
amazing.
right.
They never stop.
Crushing it. Yeah. Cool.
But originally we got linked up with them because they had done, all the VHS movies and Southbound. So they were like the anthology kings. So they were so sweet.
Yes.
They were very much like phone a friend, like, how do we do this? How do we do that? So it felt like on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, where you're like you get your one phone call. So very grateful to them. And working with Maisie. I love Maisie so much. And like I just think
Mhm.
she's so good in Astronaut. She's great. She's perfect in it. It actually was a pickup. We had to replace the actor who I just was the
Oh,
context didn't work. The actor was great, but actually Maisie and Astronaut did me a huge favor and we did reshoots at my apartment for her role in the film. Because it was originally a guy. It was just kind of confusing when we were testing it out with friends in post.
oh
Like
yeah.
kind of
Okay.
confusing, like because they were supposed to be friends, but then people were like, "Are they having an affair?" Like it just was confusing.
Mhm.
So I was like, "Oh
Mhm.
my gosh, who could play an
I could see
astronaut?"
that.
And I'm like, "I know who could play an astronaut." Amazing. So yeah, she is so sweet and so amazing to have come here and done that with me.
Yeah.
Um, and she's so good in phobias. She is so good in phobias. And she just again
The
like really
gloves, everything in that. Oh my
she is
gosh.
so good.
She was,
And she gave it a
yes.
1,000%. And she
Mhm.
is so endlessly watchable. She's just such an interesting person. I could watch
Yeah.
her forever on camera. And she's also
Yes.
hilarious. So it's always really fun to be with her because she's just so funny. uh,
Yes. Yes. She seems like a person who, like when she's acting, she seems like it's really her. She
totally.
seems like she's that genuine and
Yeah.
just nice to be around and is just I don't know, just a force by nature. And I'm so happy you got to work with her again. That's
Me
awesome.
too.
And
I know. I have to.
yeah,
Hopefully she'll do every movie with me.
yes, no, you should definitely keep her number close.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I also wanted to ask, what's coming up next? So I saw on IMDb that there's a title called Tradition. I don't know if that's true or if there's anything you can say about it. If not, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But
No, I'd love
what's
to.
next for you?
Okay, so that movie, so that is my hopefully gonna be my next film. Pending talent says yes and wants to do it. I'm actually out to a lead actor for that right now, so we'll see what he
Oh,
says.
very
But
cool.
yeah, that's a bit of a departure from Astronaut, in a way that I'm excited for. It's a genre Christmas movie because I love Christmas movies and I wanted to do like a scary lead
Oh,
on a Christmas movie. But it's going to be a little bit cheekier than Astronaut, a little bit more hard R, and a little bit more in the tone of something like The Menu, where there's like this really fun kind of ensemble. And there'll be a
hell
lot of
yeah.
scares and all of that, but like at the end, it's gonna like always have this like slightly sort of wholesome message, as you know, I like. Um,
Yes, yeah.
so yeah, I'm really excited. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I
Cool.
think, as being sort of like my sophomore movie on that, I think that there's a little bit more of a feeling personally that I feel like I can kind of loosen the reins a little bit. I felt like I wanted
Mm,
to prove so much on Astronaut and be like, I'm a serious director, and and I am, and all of that. But I think it will be a lot of fun to work
yeah.
on something with just more humor in it.
Hmm. And
That like
hopefully some horror elements.
Yes, there
Yes.
are. It is
Excellent.
very scary. So
Oh,
hopefully
good,
it'll
good,
be a
good.
little bit more like a weapons where it's like very 50-50, where like when it's
Oh,
scary, but then you're like also gonna laugh out loud, which I love.
yes. Oh, that's fantastic. Um, Christmas horror movie is my favorite horror subgenre. So you had
Yes,
me at the very start there.
awesome. I'm so glad.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So as I mentioned before we started recording, I always do a this or that segment. But
Yeah.
before we jump into that, I have one last fun question for you. And what is your favorite sci-fi film if you had to pick one?
Oh my goodness, my favorite sci-fi film. I just have to say E.T. Does that count? I
Yeah. Oh, of
I just
course.
think
Yeah.
it's just the
Gets you
best.
every time right
It
here, right?
does. It hits in all the right places. It's just such a
Mhm,
beautiful movie and it's so tender and I just like
mhm.
I just feel like that kind of movie just doesn't get made anymore. So, it's not a super
No,
original answer,
it's
but it's
so
a
good.
your one.
So good. Yeah, I saw a meme the other day of the boys and the bicycles, ET's in the little basket, except
Yeah.
it was a xenomorph from Alien, and they're about to take off. I was like, made me laugh. All right, let's jump right into this or that. Like I said, there's no right or wrong answer. It's usually kind of fun.
Okay,
And
great.
here we go. The first one I have is Ex Machina, which we mentioned, or Splice from 2009.
And I told you I'm gonna have to go with Ex Machina because I haven't seen Splice. I gotta see
Oh, it's
it.
so good. Yeah, Sarah Polley. Is it
Damn.
Adrian Brody, I think?
I don't
I
know.
think I could be wrong. I haven't watched it in a while. Good
Love that
answer. They're
song.
both
Yeah.
great films, but
Okay,
yeah.
great.
Okay. Would you prefer or do you prefer a restaurant reservation or a food truck fare?
Ooh,
I guess it
dang.
depends, but
Damn, I love a food truck, but I feel
yeah.
like as I get older, I'm like I like a good like I'm at a 5:30 early bird like old food truck
Yes, yes.
reservation.
Yeah, you want your table ready if you go to like Applebee's or
Totally,
whatever, wherever
totally.
you're
Get
going, the
elderly.
call ahead seatings. Yes. Um, okay, more movies here. Psycho from 1960 or Rosemary's Baby from
Ooh,
1968.
damn. God, I love both of those, but I
Yeah, me
think
too.
those are such good movies. I think I gotta go Rosemary's Baby though. I mean, come
Mhm.
on. Oh,
Oh, it's so
such a
good. Yeah.
good movie. Yeah, they're both so good though. But yeah, I have to go Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, the finale of that, like, what have you done to his eyes? Okay, so from a writing perspective, do you prefer to write at home or in a coffee shop, perhaps?
I usually end up writing at home. I think
Mhm.
socially I would like to be out at a coffee shop, but I get so distracted. I have to like
Yeah,
I
me
that
too.
my favorite place to write is on an airplane because then it's
Oh,
like
you can just
boom.
tune out,
Yeah.
right?
I have way too much
Yeah.
ADD for like being out and about because then I like want to talk to people at the coffee shop and ooh, I
Mhm.
want to get 10 muffins and it's just so much
Yeah, yeah.
stimulation. Um, so yeah, usually I usually write at home, but my favorite is on a plane.
Mm. Mm. Great answer. Awesome. Let's see. Movies here. The Others from 2001, the Nicole Kidman haunted one, or The Sixth Sense from 1999.
Gotta go Sixth Sense. I love that movie. That is one of
So
my
good.
most favorite movies of all time. That movie is so genius. And like, holy
Yeah.
shit, that scared the hell out of me as a kid. And it's all
Yeah.
practical. Like, there's like basically no VFX in that movie.
No. Yeah.
I actually think that that's the scariest movie ever made. I
Hmm.
think that is like, I just think it's brilliant on every single count.
Yep.
It is beyond a 10 out of 10 for me. I love that movie.
And I didn't see the ending coming, that twist. Oh my God.
And before it was
Mind
like everyone was
blowing.
chattering on the internet, you know. So you when you found out the twist, you were like,
Yes. Right. In the theater. And I feel like those who say that they saw the twist coming are perhaps not telling the
"Oh
truth.
my God, no." I
Um,
remember being like, "What?"
yes, yes. Too bad we can't really say the same for all of his other films that came after that. But The
I love
Sixth
it so much.
Sense,
I tried to emulate a little bit of M. Night with my twist in this. Obviously, nothing can hold a candle to he's the king of the
mm,
twist, but I'm a
the
huge
twist.
fan of his. I love him.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah, me too. Okay, let's see. Would you want to spend a night in the Amityville house or the real Exorcist house?
Neither.
Okay, neither.
I also, by the way, I can't even go like when my friends go to like the haunted
The haunt stuff.
walkthroughs for
Yeah.
Halloween. I can't do those. It's so weird because like on a movie set, I'm fine. I'm like, okay, I know it's fake, whatever. Something about like I can't do any of that stuff because I like completely freak out. I lose all control of
Oh
my body.
yeah.
I have to choose neither. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, like they jump out at you with a chainsaw, even though you know it's all for fun. Your physical reaction, you're like,
I
"Get me the
can't.
hell out of
Yeah,
here!"
I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I
I
also
hear
realized
you.
I totally screamed in your ears with your earbuds. I'm so sorry. Are
No,
you
you didn't at all.
okay?
No, no, unless I didn't even get a warning that there's a loud noise environment. No, I didn't notice. Okay, a few more. Some French films here: Titan from 2021 or Raw from 2016.
Ooh, I'm gonna go raw.
It's good. It's a great film.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's eat your fellow students. Okay, here's a food one again, kind of fun. A wine and cheese night or a pizza and beer night.
Oh God, both are so good. Those are like my two main food groups.
Yeah, me
Ooh,
too. Depends, right?
oh God. That might be the hardest question I get asked all interview. It's just so hard to choose. You know, I love a pizza and a beer. I also
Yeah,
love a hot dog and a
same.
beer. So I'm
Yeah, and cheese
gonna
and
down
crackers,
turkey with that
perhaps.
one.
Yeah, so it depends. It depends. Okay, a few more. I got some sci-fi ones here. Species from 1995 or Under the Skin from 2013.
Ooh, I'm gonna go under the skin. That's a fun one.
That's
So
so good.
different
Yeah.
and interesting.
Yeah. What a smart film. Let's see. Outer Limits or Black Mirror, some sci-fi
I
series.
love Black Mirror. I
It's
actually
so
was just
good.
helping out on a movie with David Slade, who is an incredible director. But he also did like the Bandersnatch episode. He's
Yeah.
and
Oh
he's
my God, I love that one.
yeah, he was he's amazing. So I was like fangirling out because I love Black Mirror so much.
That's so cool. Okay, two more. Mandy from 2018, some crazy Nick Cage, or Color Out of Space from 2019, also with Nicolas Cage.
I gotta go, Mandy, but I love anything Nicolas Cage. I also
Yeah,
love The
he's so good.
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Have you seen this movie with him and Pedro Pascal?
No?
You have to see this movie. It's so rewatchable. It's so hilarious. It's so funny. You'll love it. You'll absolutely
Oh,
love it. Yeah, Pedro
I
Pascal.
will check it out.
It's just great. I don't even want to tell you anything about it. You'll love it. It's so
Okay.
fun.
I will add it to my list and I'll let you know what I
Great.
think. And then very last one here, the Halloween franchise or the Friday the 13th franchise. So all the
Oh,
films from both franchises.
I think I'll go Halloween.
Hmm.
I feel like
I think I would too. Friday the 13th maybe second for me.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
both incredible, and both absolutely
yeah.
terrifying.
Yes, they are. Excellent. Well, Jess, thank you so much for chatting with me today. This
Thank
has
you,
been
Aaron.
fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations on The Astronaut.
Thank you.
If you're watching, stream it as soon as you can. I hope we get a physical copy of it at some point
Thank
because I'm
you.
all
Oh,
about
that'd be so
physical
cool.
media.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And my very last question for you is how can folks find you on social media if you want to be found?
Yes, please. Probably the best way is on my Instagram. It's Jess.Varley, because I guess Jess Varley was already
Was
taken.
already
Um,
taken.
who is that?
Who, yeah, right.
Yeah, Instagram is a great way to get in touch. Yeah, thank you so much. This is so nice.
Excellent. Yes, thank you so much. If you're watching, like and subscribe because it helps my channel. And Jess, one last time, thank you. This has been awesome.
Thank you, Aaron. So nice to meet you. I'll
Awesome.
see you soon.
Yes, you're welcome. Bye, everyone.